Hello, this is Shoyan, a Japanese carpenter. Today, I'd like to make a low bed frame for a double bed. A young architect who I know got a wife. He made a bed frame plan and brought it to me to make their own bed frame. So I think I'll make it as a celebration. Well, I'll try. The materials that I'll use are studs, which are used in ordinary architecture. It's a cedar material with a dimension of 120mm by 30mm. It looks very beautiful because there are no nags. It's a bed frame with etching, so it doesn't need a big material. This material is enough. First, chamfer each material. Draw markings on each part. It's easy because it's written on the plan, so I'll just copy exactly as it is. I said that it's a double bed, but I noticed while looking at the drawing that it's bigger, a queen size. It's a big bed. When I'm deciding about a cutting line, I put a black tape just like what I did in the video. I'll mark 2 pairs at a time. Use it so that the warp on the other side of the frame is in the opposite direction. That way, the whole bed is more stable. But in that way, when marking 2 pairs at a time, it may warp. But if I'll tape it, it's easier to draw markings at the same time. Now, cut each part. This frame will be assembled at the site, because I can't take it with me if I assemble it here. The joint is called aigaki. It means halved joint, which is made by removing material from each at the point of intersection so that they overlap. It's the easiest way to assemble. After cutting it by a saw, cut it out by a chisel. Hit it with a chisel lightly from the front where it was marked. If I hit it to the middle at once, the part to be left will chip. One most important thing to remember is that when cutting out such a thin material, be sure to lay a board underneath. The table vibrates, so the material will crack because of that. Also, if there is no board underneath, it might be chipped too much. Therefore, it's really important to put a wide board underneath and cut it out. I'm cutting the short anti-roll. I'll assemble it into an L shape, but it'll tumble to the other side of an L. So, to stop it from tumbling, make few anti-rolls. It's very well thought out. The material is super finished, but finally, I'd like to apply wax. So I'll sand it neatly by a sander. If I sand it, the corner will be smooth and will have a pleasant texture. Of course, the paint will also be beautifully applied. Make each part. Since it is square, it's made of 4 parts. Make a shape with 3 frames and a backrest frame, 4 of them. Since it's placed directly on the floorboard, it can't be seen from below. So I need a long screw. Screw it from the backside with a 120mm screw. Also, screws a small anti-roll that I cut earlier. was here temporarily assembles the frame on all sides. Next, make a board for the backrest. The dimensions are fixed, but the shape is left to me, so I haven't done much about this, but I'm going to make a big chamfer to the 3 sides on both sides. If I want to chamfer it, the cut-in looks a little rough and big. So I'm going to chamfer only 3 sides and make it look elegant. Also, chamfer the long side of the upper end. It's a little long, so it's actually a job like doing it on the planer table, but it was difficult because I did it on the plywood panel. Then sand the surface neatly. Make the framework of the backrest. The backrest will be shaped with the 2 boards that were cut earlier. I'd like to shape it by tilting only the top one. Cut the framework diagonally. It looks dangerous in the video, but it's not dangerous to put a hand in front of the circular saw. Circular saw doesn't move forward on their own, rather it's dangerous if I put a hand behind the circular saw. The circular saw automatically moves backwards when a load is applied to the back. So when you cut the board, don't put your hands behind the circular saw. Next, I'll shape the backrest. The bottom is a notched aigaki part made in the same way as the frame material. First, assemble it according to the lower notch position. When assembling, measure the right angle of the framework and assemble it. Next, attach the board of the backrest part. Leave a little gap between the 2 backrest boards. The upper plate is sloped, so I don't think it makes sense to force them together, because there will be gaps in the future. Instead of doing it, I think it's better to make a gap. At the end, make a framework hiding like a crest rail. If I put this, the framework will not be visible from above. Screw from the backside. Now, the backrest is completed. It feels a little big. In the same way, I made a 4-sided frame by assembling it by aigaki. Make a drain board to put the mattress on. In the plan, the dimensions of the 3 equal parts were written exactly, but it's very difficult to make them according to the dimensions. Therefore, I thought that I should make one piece at a time and cut it finally into 3. So I'm making one now. It's a hassle to draw a marking of the intervals one by one, but there is a wood that could be used as a ruler. So I'd like to decide the interval by sandwiching it. Then measure the diagonal of the frame. If the diagonals are the same, the frame will be exactly squared and right-angled. It doesn't matter if it's a nail or a screw to fix it. But this time, I'll use a 4mm by 38mm floor tacker. I finished fixing the drain board, so I'll cut it in 3 here. If I cut into 3 pieces and remove it, the 3 drain boards are completed. I'd like to use beeswax for this wax. It's a semi-kneaded type, creamy and slightly hardened. I'll rub it in well to a towel and wax it. Beeswax is made of beehive wax. There's no problem even if I lick it. It's a wax that is kind to both nature and the body, but unlike honey, it's not sweet even if you lick it. I can't wax it all at once, but I'll wax it with force and rub it in. Sasamoku, it's only used heartwood portion cedar wood. If I wax it, it'll stand out so well. It's beautiful. I waxed it twice after dried a little, so it was finished very beautifully. Now I'm going to bring it to the newlyweds' new house and assemble it. The bed frame is so big that the room will be occupied. I also inflated the matless and put it onto it. I don't know what to say about the ringlets on the sheets. Now the queen-size low bed frame is completed. It's a sturdy frame with a beautiful heather. I'm sure this will endure the life of a newlywed. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.